else. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I made it. And to see where I am now from even 2-3 years ago, like I'm fucking proud of myself because I was able to pull myself back out of a hole that I went in a hole, came back out, went back in a hole. I was like, nope. We coming to fuck.
We're not doing this again. Hell
this.
no, let's go.
And so this time it's a different mindset because I'm not going to play victim to that. Like I don't have all the resources, and that's scary as fuck because it's like my job is my bread and butter. You know what I'm saying? But I have to pick up every fucking thing I have and I have to take off. I just have to. And I think the one thing that I'm doing differently is, and of course you can prepare by saving money and all those other things, but my preparation now is coming in the form of a spiritual preparation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm spiritually prepared this time.
Yeah.
And I'm mentally prepared this time. And I'm always creative. I remember one summer, like when I was in another position, I only was a 10-month employee. So during the summers, I didn't work. And this one summer, I could not get a job to save my fucking ass. Like I could not. And I was like, well, I already said like, okay, I work in education. The summer, I did not want to do it. I didn't want to do no summer camps, none of that.
Right.
So I was trying to find an office job. Nothing would come through because they're like, well, you don't have a lot of office experience. I'm like, trust me, when you work in a school, you got all.
I've been in it's a whole office.
It's a whole. Listen, I can my typing is the bomb. I can type like everything. Like I can do this. I can answer a phone. I have to talk to parents. Like I have the experience. I just don't have it in a technical office space. But yes, I do all of that. And so they were just like, yeah, no. And so one summer I just was like, oh my gosh, I have to pay bills. You know what I mean? Like, what am I going to do? And literally that was a summer that I was on Facebook and I just happened to look up voiceovers. And I started Googling and stuff like that. And I found this guy on Facebook and he had a few friends in common. So I reached out to him because I saw he was into voiceovers and we started chatting and he sent me a few things just to see where I was and stuff.
Right.
And I was like, oh, snap. I think I kind of dig this shit here. You know, I like this. But it was more radio drops and stuff like that. And that wasn't really my shit, but I was like, it's something. And literally that whole summer I said, okay, what can I do? And I went on Craigslist and I just started looking up voiceovers and
Craigslist.
The whole summer, like when I tell you God was looking out, I was getting like back-to-back voiceovers.
That is a thing.
I went on Fiverr and I was getting like boop, 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 just booked. And I was like, yo, I was able to sustain the whole summer. To this day, I still don't understand how that worked out the way you did, but like it was.
And you know what? That I think is the biggest key, like to reach or obtain what we define as success, right? Mm-hmm. It's also being able to like faith your way through the whole journey. Mm-hmm. I think when you just decide to just change shit and like be like, all right, let me have plan B, C, and D. It's like you're using all of these plans to take up so much space for where you're supposed to believe and bet on you and knowing that the universe got you. Mm-hmm. When you don't believe that anything good will come is when the universe is going to sit back and be like, you don't think that I got it. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, then let's see how it works out for you.
Works out, right. Because ultimately what you're saying, although it was great to be prepared again.
It's always good to have at least a plan 8.5.
Right. But when you have a plan A through E, what you're saying is none of this shit's about to work.
Right. And even the energy and when you said it, I was like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
You can't breathe life into something that you don't have kind of like a crazy belief in. Like I heard Will Smith talk about like, everybody kind of thought that I'm crazy. And you gotta be a little crazy to believe that you're gonna pop and know that you're gonna pop and that people are just gonna catch up. Like you said, the universe is catching up to you. It's like that level of believing that you were created to do whatever it is that you're into, and that you can live that life of sustaining yourself. It's the scariest shit in the world.
Yeah, and I mean, it sounds insane. Like, you know what I'm saying? That level.
It don't sound normal. It's not supposed to be normal.
It sounds like you're like, what? You gonna do what and what? And you just know this? Like, you know, you sound crazy, but you have to.
Okay. You know what's, and then we think about the definition of insanity, and it's like, but doing the same thing, expecting something different to come, more, you know, money to be made when people are getting change for promotions and raises.
Exactly. I am a witness over here. Okay.
Inflation raises. Like, let me give you this 35 cents. And it's like, excuse me.
35 You're like, what?
You know, I had somebody tell me, like, yo, they was making fun of my raise because you can't even buy a stamp with your raise.
It's a hot mess. It's funny. This brings up a story that just happened to me the other day. I was telling one of my coworkers, actually my assistant, I was talking to him about, because I did tell him I didn't want to, no, of course I have this plan to leave. Okay. I'm not,
you can't be out here being like, I ain't gonna see y'all more.
Right. So I didn't tell anybody. I haven't told anybody the date or time or whatever. I'm preparing to leave. Right. And I told him, I'm saying I didn't tell, not everybody knows, because, people start to act funny when they know you about to leave and do something else. So I have not told everybody, but I did share with him because I want him to get prepared. Right.
Yeah.
And I don't want to leave him like the last person left me. You know what I'm saying? I don't.
That's also an issue. Yes, yeah. I'm a responsible leaver.
Right. So I don't want that to happen. So get your stuff in order. And so, he knows I'm into sound design and everything like that. And he's been kind of like really into it. Like, you're really good. Like, and saying all this stuff. And I told him that I was, because he was like, for what you're doing, this area is not really the place for it. Have you thought about, New York or LA or Atlanta? And I was like, I've thought about all of those places. But I don't necessarily want to live in any of those places. I want to be able to work and go. Right. But I was like, if I have to, like, let's say move to LA and do like a year residency or something like that, I could do it until shit get popping,
Right.
And he goes, well, I just want to let you know it's very expensive in LA and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, I know a lot of people there. I know, I get it. But I was very blunt. I was like, but for what I want to do, I'm gonna get in and get out. And I was like, I already know that it's about to be big and it's going to do what it needs to do.
It's going
to pop in so many words. And he was like, oh, okay. And it was kind of like, I know you don't understand.
You don't see what I'm seeing. You're not supposed to see what I'm supposed to see.
Yeah, you don't see it. But I see it. And it was the first time in a long time that I had said anything like that so matter-of-factly, to even where I like.
It's a fact. I'm here for that. It's like, this shit gonna pop. I mean, you don't see it, but that's cool.
And literally 2 days after that, I get an email from a company in LA, inquiring about me. And I just thought that was so dope. Now, it did not work out because they needed somebody immediate, and here, that's not going to be immediate.
Right, that's not going to be immediate.
But the fact that they called me, like, y'all.
Right, the universe was like, let me show you what bragging on you
let me show you
is about.
You brag on you and I got your back. Let me show you that. And it was just so dope because I was like, they actually looked at my resume and was like, Crystal, yeah, girl, you local?
What time you coming?
Right. And I was just like, I'm not local, but for the right.
I could be local.
I could be local. Like, you know.
Y'all trying to make me be local?
Right. And she was like, well, we're looking for somebody immediate. But she's like, I'll definitely keep your name and your resume on file. I was like, do that.
Do that. Thank you. Holla at a player.
Holla at a player. You have a position that you could give me a few months advance notice, or, you know.
Yeah.
But it was just so dope. And it just, that was really what I needed to be like, okay.
Yeah, it's affirming.
So yes, it's affirming. And so it goes back to, why don't you believe in yourself? But to have something like that happen, like, I've been on cloud 9 a little bit ever since, because it's like, yo, it was a stamp. Like, bitch, you the shit. You got a whole fucking company from LA
calling you. You not calling them and them answering. They was like, hold on.
I wasn't checking in on my resume to see if they, you know, y'all got it. I had forgotten about that. I put it in there.
And isn't that a key too? Because I think that's the biggest key. It's like, okay, you know, I want to be a creative entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. Am I out here like checking if I'm a creative entrepreneur yet? if it's ready for me? If, you know, I'm not saying every day, yo, you know, this is what I want to do. I ain't here yet, and I'm putting myself down for it. Mm-hmm. It's like, this is what I want, universe.
Right.
I'm gonna do the things that I can do to get there, but also I'm gonna move out the way so you can move me into the right spaces. Mm. You know, like, my legs finna walk. You just gotta place me there. You know, I'm gonna open some doors, but take me to the hallway.
Right. I'll walk through. Trust me, I'll get there.
I'll knock on every door, bust down some doors, create my own doors. But, you know, once you really move out of the way, because I've realized, you know, the universe, God is paying, right? And so when I feel like I'm pulling all the strings and I'm not moving fast enough, I literally see a visual of a God sitting down, leg crossed, like, oh,
so you think?
Oh, you know better than me.
Oh, you the guy. You in charge.
All right, okay, all right. You the head nigga in charge. All right, then I'm gonna just sit on back here and wait for you to tire yourself out, so I can finally do what I need to do. Since you got it,
I've had it. You know,
play God. Let me know how you feel. Burnt out later, and that's literally it. Like,
yeah,
I'd be so burnt out, and then when I stop, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna work a little bit less today and choose joy. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go on a mini vacation. I'm gonna take care of myself in whatever way that I can. The universe is like, see?
Right. Like,
here, I told you.
And it's so important that we get to that point. I think, you know, we're definitely in the phase of, you know, we already had the mirror up to us, so we see, you know what I'm saying? So there's still that fear, but now it's we're face to face with it.
Right.
And it's like, oh, you can't deny this anymore. It's right fucking here. I want you to look at it. I want you to see it.
Yes.
To acknowledge it, and then I want you to fucking do something about it.
Like, get in the passenger seat. I'm gonna drive.
But now you see.
Don't press the brake now.
Right.
Because you're gonna get whiplash, and then you're gonna be sad.
And then you're gonna be mad. So it's like, you know, I will say that this, even 2021, this year so far has been that, you know what I'm saying? 2020 was a lot of reflection and things like that going on for me. And then of course 2021 was just like, all right, bitch, stop looking. It's time to move, you know?
Right.
And although I'm moving at a pace that works for me, you know what I mean? I'm still moving. And I think it's important, like, yes, I'm still afraid, but am I going to pack my shit and take off?
Yeah,
for my motherfucking life? Absolutely.
Yes.
And it's the scariest shit
it's so scary. Like, I may be looking calm on the outside, but inside